Okay, so for my project, I am defining spirituality as connecting to the soul or the universe. So I'm going to say, do you practice any type of spirituality in your life, throughout your college life, in your free time?
I mean, when I go home, I go to Catholic masses, but when I'm up here, there's not really anything that I do to be spiritual, per se, in that kind of way. I mean, I take moments to like acknowledge where I am and be thankful for that, but nothing considered like religious in a Catholic sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, like, spirituality to me kind of changed throughout. Like, now everything is more, like, nature-based for spirituality to me. Like, since I went to, like, the rec program, like, that's when I just started doing, like, things outside. So I guess it's more so, like, spirituality is, like, going outside to, like, clear my head is what I would consider my spirituality, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
My spirituality is meditation, especially in nature. I like to think about existence and being, to give myself a reason, like, why I should use my will. Yeah.
I would say I'm more of a spiritual person, definitely. I think mine's very informal. It's not a specific, like, I don't really study anything. I don't necessarily say I would associate myself with like a specific type of spirituality. I just would say I'm more spiritual in nature. So.
I definitely am a spiritual person. I don't prescribe to a religion. I used to identify as like a Christian, born again Christian and all that. I'm coming out definitely. Like the pushback I got from my community made me question a lot of the church's teachings. So then in college I studied a lot of like theology and like studied the Bible in like Hebrew and Greek and found a lot of problems with it for me. So I don't prescribe to a religion anymore, but I do think spirituality is super important for me. I think of like Mother Nature as God, and I think of like nature as something holy, and I think it's really important for people to have maybe some kind of driving force in their life like that, you know, whether it's a deity or other humans or nature.
I think of spirit as kind of like our general mood about things, and kind of like when someone's in the hospital and you go and visit them and they're like, yeah, she was in good spirits even though like she broke her leg. And so that's how I think about it often, is like we all have a spirit in us, and I think being spiritual is just being aware of that spirit and kind of what it's doing. So I think there's things in our life that can affect our spirituality. So like taking care of our health, making sure we're sleeping enough, just taking care of ourselves. That's how I find my greatest spirit, my happiest spirit. And when I'm not taking care of myself, like if I'm stressing out about something, usually my spirits are down.
Okay. Are you religious, or have you been religious in your past life or throughout college?
Religious, like organized religion? No. I mean, my grandparents are super religious on both sides of my family. I was technically I'm baptized Lutheran, so technically I'm a part of that religion, but I wouldn't say I'm religious at all. I don't really go to church. I don't really do organized like congregation or anything like that. Unless it's, I would say I'm kind of like a, what do they call it? Like a cheater, like whatever they call it. When like, I basically only go to church for like Christmas and Easter, but that's when I'm home. When I'm up here, I haven't gone to one single church since I've been up here at Northern. And I just like, honestly, I don't really have a desire to. I did. My family did switch over to a non-denominational church. So if I did say I practice religion, it would literally be a non-denominational church where I don't really, like, I believe that there's like a higher power, but like I don't necessarily like worship like anything specifically, if that makes sense.
I am religious. I consider myself to be Christian. I'm not very structured with my religion though. I tried to be structured for a while and it really just was not doing anything positive for me. So just take it day by day.
No, I don't. I identify as agnostic.
In a way, I grew up religious, but everyone in my family kind of stopped being religious. Like, we were one of those towns like where we had like some unfortunate priests, and like my brother is gay, so my mom just like completely turned her back against it. So me and my dad like will still sometimes go because like my dad still like really believes, but I kind of like I like to go more so because of like I like the community that like I don't know, it just like everyone when people are in church, like since I grew up in church, like it's a family based community there, like I guess like but I don't know, I still don't fully believe in like religion like that. I just like the way it kind of like nostalgic kind of, I guess, if that works.
Are you religious?
I am not religious, but I was raised in a pretty relaxed Christian community. Just got away from it when my parents got divorced.
Do you believe that spirituality exists without religion, or can exist without religion, or that people in your community practice spirituality?
I think in my community up here at Northern, I think that community practices spirituality. I don't really know a lot of people back home that practice spirituality, and I definitely believe that spirituality could exist without religion, but I highly doubt that it does. I'm not for sure because I like to say that I'm not religious. I don't, but I practice spirituality. But the thing is like I decided to go my spirituality, my faith in spirituality, whatever you want to call it, is solely based on the fact that like there's a lot of unknowns within religion, and so I think that spirituality is, I wouldn't say like a counterculture of religion, but I would say that it's definitely something that stems off of religion. It kind of defies it, but like it still worships something, you know, it still worships an entity, and I think that that's what religion's kind of centered around. So
especially on our northern campus, 1 out of every 10 girls likes crystals and will dance around for like an hour in her room. And also there are people who like consider themselves vampires. So it's like spirituality definitely exists without religion, because these people don't consider themselves religious, but like we'll follow something that could be inanimate, could be not real, but they still care enough about it to like do it for whole days at a time.
Do you think that in your community a lot of people practice spirituality without religion, especially in your college?
Oh yeah, it's like what everyone does. It's like, I don't know, either like do yoga or like some sort of like outdoor activity, like meditating and like stuff like that. But I would say a lot of people in like especially Marquette would feel that way.
Yes, I do believe that spirituality can exist without religion. I know a lot of people practice spirituality in different ways, from yoga to meditation. It's common for people to practice their spirituality in like a church or a temple setting, but for some people that church or temple setting can be their home or even outside in nature.
There's definitely people around Marquette and NMU who are spiritual, and it's really interesting as I've explored different religious places. There's like a few, there's there's like His House Campus Ministry, like a few ministry places. It's really interesting to talk to the students and like kind of see where they're at in terms of spirituality and like their own religion. And I've noticed, I mean, it's really hard to say because sometimes you only get a glimpse of people. I've noticed that there are people who are not necessarily religious. Maybe they don't go to church, or maybe they don't do this or that says they're a certain religious type, but they are definitely spiritual and they're definitely aware of, I think, like that spiritual realm.
Yes, 100%, because I see a lot of like active on campus like ministries, and I also see like Buddhist groups and students practicing like that and whatnot. I kind of believe that NMU has a pretty like open policy, and they're very accepting of all cultures, and I think that's pretty diverse environment at NMU.
I think the future of religion is going to be just adapting to the social world we live in, you know? Things that don't progress with the future generations don't continue. So it's either like cease to exist or adapt. And religion has adapted over the course of many, like they've always choose adapt. And I don't see them switching it up now and choosing to stop existing.
I don't necessarily think that religion is dying out. I think it may be harder for our generation to accept religion in the way that our parents and the generations before us did. But I know that a lot of people find comfort in being able to trust in something bigger than themselves. And I think that especially as our generation ages, that they will become more accepting of religion as a whole. I think that religion will continue to evolve as it has throughout time, and that new religions will come around and old religions will lose following, just as they always have.
I definitely think our generation is moving away from prescribed, structured faith. For better or worse, I don't know. But I think we're finding new ways to define what religion is and what faith is, and I think that's probably a positive thing. I kind of hope that we do continue to have churches and like organized meetings, but I think that like the way we do that will change, and the things that we're like worshiping or seeking in those meetings will change. But I do think the like the fellowship and the community aspect of religion actually is really important. So I hope we don't move away from that. I hope we do continue to have like churches and group meetings and stuff, but maybe not. I mean, I think we'll probably redefine what those look like. So yeah.
I would hope that they would adapt to society, that it would turn into spirituality, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, because there are so many people that are stuck in, you know, like you said, confines of society. There are so many people stuck within the confines of what their religion is supposed to be. And I feel like it makes people scared to branch out because they don't want to rock the boat. But ultimately, I don't think anyone will be able to be close to their faith or close to whatever religion if they don't see multiple sides. So I hope that it adapts to society. I hope that people are more willing to, but I don't think they're going to.
It probably won't adapt. There'll still be people who are extremely their religion and like won't see it another way. I don't think religion is something that will ever adapt.